Hi, and welcome to another devlog. I'm gonna keep the intro as short as possible because I've got so much to showcase. For those who are completely new to the channel, I've created this Flash game that you can see right over here around 15 years ago. I could never really complete it because, spoiler alert, Flash kind of died. And then around 2 years ago, I wanted to revive this game development dream by learning Godot. So I made a prototype recreating the game that I created 15 years ago. It looked like this, but you know, I was a complete noob, a complete beginner, so the prototype looked cool, but the project was a mess, and I was also not really a fan of the art style completely because it was too much of a hybrid between 3D and pixel art. So around 3 months ago I restarted the whole project with a way better code base, and now it looks somewhat like this. Around 2 weeks ago we also added music, which has already been updated. If you want to learn about that, go and watch this video, a video by Old Friends Music. He takes you through the process, and he also showcases the latest version of the music of the prologue part of the game. Make sure to subscribe to his channel because all music related updates will be uploaded on his channel from now on. I've added some sound effects, so let's wear the headphones, and I'm gonna take you through all the improvements since then. So we now can play on a controller, which is super nice, and I've updated the movement. The movement looks better because of the particle effects, the little dust clouds that you can see. They're back, you can jump, you can land. Something that's pretty hard to showcase, but you can now also cancel certain animations so everything is a bit smoother. The play controller is way smoother. I've re-added the in-shield slide. This time around it's hand-drawn. Previously I rotated the sprite, but it got distorted, so now every rotation of every sprite is hand-drawn. Took me hours or even a day to make that look nice, especially for this animation. Like making things rotate in pixel art, it's not easy. After improving the movement with the little dust particles, I wanted to improve the water because the water was basically a mesh that only went up and down and you couldn't really swim in it. So I created better water. It actually has waves now, and you can now also swim in it. As you can see, I also added a little splash hand-drawn animation. Some of these features were already in the previous build, but I had to redo it completely because this is a completely different project. It's been built way more modular with components, so I can reuse certain code. For example, the way I go about floating can also be applied to character bodies and also rigid bodies. So these boxes that you see right over here, those are rigid bodies that can now float, which is super cool. You could already see a little bit of the combat improvements that I did the moment I knocked back those boxes. Don't you worry, I'm gonna show you way more combat in just a bit. But before we do that, I want to introduce you to our new friend called Ray, this little mentor right over here. Because after polishing the movement and the water, I wanted to work on the very first cutscene in the outside world, which is all about this dude pretty much beating up this crap the moment you exit the house. Just like that. So in order to make this cutscene, I had to work on the move set of both Aiden and this new character called Ray. So that's the thing that I'm going to show you right now, is the move set of both characters. So let's go back to Aiden real quick so we can compare the animations. Aiden will have this idle animation. They're both pretty much the same. They've got a run animation, a skid cooldown. They can jump in the air, they can shield slide. Aiden has this combo of 2 jabs, a hook and an uppercut, which is pretty good. The final move sends the object in the air. I've decided to replace the old bashing dash attack with this slide move that can also lead into different combos. Aiden has this neutral air where he pops out of his shield. A pretty strong one because it has hitboxes all around. We've got a forward air. It will spike downwards, and we've got a very strong back air, which is one of the strongest moves in the game. So that's Aiden, and our little fella over here has a slightly different run animation. I really wanted to have this cool samurai katana wielding like run animation. And from this dash animation you can also do this cool strike I already comboed from dash into his neutral air, which is like a double hit move, which is pretty cool. I have to improve the hitboxes a bit, but if you time it right, you can hit the character both times. His charge attack will send enemies in the air, and with that you can do a back air, which is like this slash backwards, or a forward air, which is also a spike. And something that I haven't implemented yet is splash damage on things that you spike downwards, whether it is a box or an enemy. The moment you hit it like this, and then you do a spike, it would also hit the crab that's standing right over here. You might ask why I'm putting so much effort into a NPC character with a complete moveset, and that's because this dude will be your second player that you can play with whenever you play this game in the 2-player co-op mode. And while the controls are the same, the characters will play differently. For example, the dash attack of Aiden will send enemies slightly away from you and upwards, so it's less of a combo move. While I do think you can combo from it into a forward air, let me just check. Oh, dash into dash works, but let me also check if you can forward air from it. You can, but it's pretty hard, which is also something that is very easily adjustable. So because I've created this combat controller node, I've added this to both Aiden and Ray, and I can change how the moves behave. So in the sidebar right over here on the combat controller, I've got this combo array, which holds the jab, the jab 2, the hook 1, and the uppercut. But I also have the dash move right over here. So let's say I wanted to knock back a little less, so the forward air is easier to connect, then I can just change this X velocity to, for example, 2. So right now it will go less away from you whenever you hit the dash attack. Let me check on the other screen. Yeah, I think I overdid it a bit, but you get the picture. I can easily adjust the way knockback works, so you can come up with all those cool combo possibilities per character. And the dash attack of Ray will be this cool samurai move where the characters just go upwards. So with that move, you can do a neutral air, for example. Super cool. I really love this move. The charge attack of Aiden will send folks away from you. It's also a shield breaker. And Ray's charge attack will be a combo starter. Boom! Super cool. The basic jab combo will send folks into the air, which is also a very good way to start combos. And the jab combo of Ray will send folks away from you. So that won't be a move to start combos with. And that's exactly why I made it so that his charge attack will do exactly that. And I just can't stop laughing while showcasing this to you guys. And I think that's a good sign. I'm really having fun testing out all those different combos. Especially this one, the combo into back air is so satisfying. I don't think too many people will do those things because those are really Super Smash Bros. Tech. But for those who like to perform like awesome combos, it's possible. You don't have to. It's just so satisfying, man. And since Ray has this hat and a stick, I had to come up with creative ways to go about the in-shield animation. So the stick and the hat just fall against the shield. And whenever you do the jump, they just float in the air. I've also created a very cool staggering and blocking system for the enemies. But before I'm going to show you that, I'm going to show you the level first, because I've prototyped the first level from start to finish. At least a very rough version of it. Obviously, you start here at your house. You'll have the cutscene with the mentor right over here. And then pillar type objects will rise from the water in the background, just like this. It has something to do with the story. It will help with the world building and the lore, but it also just looks very cool. So after the rising pillars, you continue to the next part of the level. This will have this water well. Maybe you can even go inside of it and go in the bottom area of the level for some secret or something. That's probably a cool thing. Those spikes in the background, those will be just weed or some type of crops in the background. I've already created the graphics for it, but I have in the previous build of the game, but I have to re-add it in this one. You're gonna have this cool windmill. It will also rotate its blades will look pretty cool. In these parts, you're gonna face your first enemies, so that's why it's so open. It's your first experience with different types of crabs, and you're gonna fight 2 or 3 at the same time. This won't be in the game. This is just a playground for me. Like sometimes I'm trying to do like lots of things in an evening, and I just end up hitting boxes for hours because it's just so darn fun. So I've added lots of boxes just to see how the pretty physics work. Physics are so cool. The thing in the background is a way too oversized scarecrow placeholder. And I was probably too distracted, but somewhere around here, a whale will also show in the background. Was it over here then? Yeah, there you go. You can barely see it. You can actually see it pretty well. But it's going to be this cool sprite art whale in the background. It's going to have some role in the game as well. It's just there to look cool. It's just there to have this cool moment. And I think every single screen of the game, every single part needs something that is just cool, funny, cute, or just immersive. And I think that will make this game stand out in a way, because most beat 'em up games are just about the combat, or at least for the majority about the combat. And my game will take combat super seriously, but the story and the world building and the lore is just going to be better than most of the games on the market. So this is the crops area. There's going to be some farm building over here. You continue, and this is where the first village start. And these are going to be those cinematic moments where you have to save the villagers from those pesky crabs. And they're just going to appear from the windows and from behind the corners, or they're crawling out of the wells. It's just going to be those fun little moments. There's probably going to be this villager with his broomstick trying to hold off a crab, and you have to help him out. And then the next part, the most prettiest part of the level, is gonna be this blossom tree. You're gonna see all those leaves floating in the wind. It's gonna look super gorgeous, this particle system. And here the screen is gonna lock, and then you have to face your very first wave of crabs. Basically, crabs are going to appear from all over, from the water, from the ground, from the sides of the screen, and you have to kill around like 20 crabs in order to proceed, with the pretty blossom tree as a background. All right, let's switch to Ray for a bit to explore the next part of the level. So after that, you're gonna have this second village part. So the blossom tree is surrounded by houses. Here you're gonna have this moment where like a parent is in complete panic because those pillars that you saw in the background rising from the water has now lifted up a complete house. And this parent is like crying, like, I lost my little son. This was his house. Where is he? And then you have to go up here. The camera isn't following you yet. I haven't created that just not yet. I only have horizontal movement with the camera. But whenever you get there on top, the dude is just sleeping in his bed with his sleeping hat on. And the moment you wake him up, he steps out from on the wrong side of the bed, and he just falls down. So the moment you rescue him, he still falls down in a very dramatic way. And the moment you descend, get back to the parent, he's obviously still alive. He probably fell into the water or something. And then you somewhat save the dude, and then you can continue with the level. Oh, I've added those crabs because I wanted to have this cool samurai moment. Oh, I love it so much. It's so cool. All those sound effects that you hear are temporarily, but I kind of like the old school retro sound whenever you stagger an enemy. All right, the final part of the video. I told you guys this devlog was stacked. It's going to be about the staggering and shield options that I've created. So in this case, I can enable the has armor property on the crab, and it basically has a seashell on his body as a shield. So this is super cool. Whenever you hit it, it will just turn black. No white flash, and it doesn't take damage. It will also not have hit stun. It won't react to your punch, and it will just walk towards you like a tank. In this case, you can break it easily, I think, with just 3 attacks. I'm not sure how much. Yeah, 4 attacks. And now it gets into the staggering mode. It's confused. It has his little paw, or whatever you call it, his claw, rather. It's a crab in the ground, and it's completely staggered for around 3 or 4 seconds. So there's armor, there's staggering, and there's also hit stun. In this case, whenever you hit the enemy, now it's staggered again, and now you can do whatever you want with your food. It's so violent. So let me put it to windowed mode a bit and show you how I went about it. This is not going to be a tutorial because otherwise this video would be like half an hour long. But I do want to show you the basic idea behind the systems that I've created. So the biggest improvement of this project compared to the prior one, the prototype, is that most of the code is now component based. So I have those components right over here. This component handles everything regarding the damage reaction. I have so many properties. I can enable or disable hit stun. I can disable or enable knockback. I've got all these staggering and blocking options. It's all been handled by one component, and I can just drag and drop this in any enemy type, and then the enemy type can do exactly that. This is the death explosion spawner. It's just a node that will spawn the explosion that shows whenever an enemy dies. The health component, obviously, you can just set the health. I've got the hit reaction controller. This one handles the way enemies can hit stun or tumble. A hit flash controller, a very basic component that can make objects turn white whenever they get hit, or turn black whenever they are already dead or blocking, and red when they died. And the fun thing about that is whenever you are playing with your food, it sounds so cruel, whenever the character is already dead but you keep on doing combos, it will still react to it, but the only difference is that the hitbox is black, so you know very well which enemy is already dead and which enemy is still alive. I can show it to you guys. See the red flash is gone, it's now a black flash. And you can do those big combos on an already dead character. There's nothing wrong with me, it's just a game, alright? I got a bit distracted. Let's get back to the stagger and blocking system. In this case, I set the block mode to both, so it can basically eat attacks from both directions. I can also make it so that only the backside has a blocking shield. So I can have different enemies that have different blocking orientations. I can also disable the hit stun, so whenever you hit them, they won't react physically to the attack, and so they will just continue walking towards you and they can attack you. This can really work for bigger enemies. Let's put the health to 99 so I can play a bit more with my food. I can change how many hits it requires to break the shield and start the staggering system, both when they're blocking or when they're not blocking. In this case, it takes 4 hits. So now the shield is gone. It went into a stagger mode, which I can also change the duration of it by just changing it right over here, stagger time. And I can also make it so that you can only knock back an enemy whenever they're staggered. So for example, whenever I do a knockback move, it won't knock back at all. The sound doesn't work for some reason, but I will fix that later. If I stagger the enemy, like now, and then attack them, then they can knock back. Another thing that I've implemented is this one, block interrupts. And let's say I can only block from front. The crab won't be able to do this in the real game, but I needed a little sprite to at least see what's going on. So some enemies will actually be able to block you, like the fighter type of enemies. In this case, I just added a temporarily art for the crab just to test it out. Because again, this system will be reused by many enemy types. And there are a bunch of other options, like how fast can a character recover from his stagger whenever he got staggered, how long the window is of the staggering. Maybe some enemies will recover way faster in between the attacks. So many options. All right, that's basically it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Are you guys as excited as I am? Because as you can probably tell from me playing my own game, I'm really having a blast with the game so far. That's a good sign, you know. I think we're onto something. All right, that wraps it up. Let me know in the comments below. Your feedback is really appreciated. And also make sure to watch the update video on the music that has been uploaded by Ben on the Old Friends Music channel. If you made it this far in the video, I thank you. I really appreciate that. And with that, I see you guys around in the next video or stream. Bye bye.